But hey, there we go. All right. Good morning, gamers. How are you guys doing today? I think my headphones are off. I don't know why do I not have any sound in my headphones? Oh god, I don't have any sound in my headphones. What is going on? Playback devices. Do I got to restart Minecraft? Is that what I got to do? That's probably what I have to do. Yeah. Let's get this fixed. So, how's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? A lot of stuff actually happened this week. We got some stuff coming out of NetherRealm for the new Mortal Kombat. They actually just dropped a new trailer on us. So we will get that. Okay, seriously. Minecraft, please. There we go. Better. There we go. There we go. I can hear now. Much improvement. All right. We got some coal? Yeah, we got some coal here. Hey, yeah. We had NetherRealm drop the new Mortal Kombat trailer on us. So, that's always exciting. We had the FCC. The FCC actually codified into law. Well, into policy. It's effectively the law of the land, but net neutrality, Title II net neutrality is now officially a thing. So we'll get into that here a little bit later. We got some other stuff going on here too. That stupid dress thing. I want to talk about this dress thing for a second. If you really can't figure out that the angle of view on a display will actually change the colors on the display, I have really nothing for you. I mean, literally all you have to do is move your head around and go, oh, hey, the colors change if I'm not looking straight at my screen. And laptops have worked like that pretty much forever. So, not exactly what the deal is there, but Walmart's getting gold Marios, and they are apparently already selling for crazy prices. And we'll just start there. We will start working from there. All right, so first off, I've got to show off this trailer because this trailer just looks absolutely fantastic. Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm today started showing the new showed off the new trailer for Mortal Kombat on their channel, and it's already being bumped around. This video is actually being hosted by Maximilian Dude, but we're finally getting a moment to actually see some stuff about the storyline for Mortal Kombat X, and this is looking really good. And Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm has always been probably one of the better teams for doing story in their fighting games. But seriously, this looks actually good. If you were to show me this trailer and go yeah, this is going to be a movie later this year, I would totally see it. But here we go. Obviously, if you don't like violence, now is the time to look away. Whoosh. Yeah, I got some new stuff working here. Woo.
Takahashi Takeda, Jacqueline Briggs, Kung Jin. You are not welcome here.
Sub-Zero, let's talk.
Cassandra, you lead this group, but they do not follow. Until you function as one, you will fall short.
Our village was the epicenter of a fierce battle. A talisman with a center jewel. The Emperor grows desperate, and those caught in the middle pay the price.
If this talisman is what I suspect it to be, we may all pay a price.
Kano talked.
You know Melina's location.
And a whole rebel army.
She has the amulet, but she's got a lot of protection.
You took my throne. Now you wish to steal my means of reclaiming it?
Okay, guys, standard diamond formation. Takeda, you're on point. Jackie, bring up the rear.
What makes you our leader? What is that?
Don't know about you guys, but I'm living the dream.
Earthrealm's fate lies with you.
And there we go. And good God, there is so much stuff in this trailer. Like, it is ridiculous the amount of stuff that is actually in this trailer. But let's actually jump through and actually look at some of the stuff that we're seeing here. First off, we're at the Lin Kuei. This is the Lin Kuei temple. That right there, that guy right there is Takashi Takeda. He is actually Kenshi's son, apparently. If you've been following the Mortal Kombat X cartoon, or the comic book, he is actually Kenshi's son, the blind swordsman from the previous games. I believe he's actually following with Cassie Cage's outfit, the daughter of Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage. So that's cool to see him in here.
Jacqueline Briggs.
And her, here we go. Her, Jacqueline Briggs. This appears to be the daughter of Jax, the big black guy with the robot arms. And yeah, it's looking like she's got some tech on her arms too. So that's looking cool to see. I also like how they actually named her Jacqueline, because Jax, I think Jax is actually his nickname. So the fact that he named his daughter after his nickname so that they can still call her Jax is fantastic.
Jacqueline Briggs. Kung Jin.
Kung Jin. Here's someone new, but just based entirely off of his look. I don't know a whole lot about him, but based entirely off of his look. I'm pretty sure that this is Nightwolf's son. And you can see a whole bunch of Lin Kuei ninjas in the background. The Lin Kuei are actually the ninjas that Sub-Zero hails from. Also important to note that there are multiple Sub-Zeros. Sub-Zero is a title, not a specific person. But let's keep on going on here.
Kung Jin, you are not welcome.
And there we go. That is the current Sub-Zero. That guy right there is the current Sub-Zero.
Here.
Sub-Zero, let's talk.
Cassandra, you lead this group, but they do not follow. Until you function as
That's
one,
some random Outworlder guys there.
Our village was the epicenter of a fierce
Now, I don't know who she
A
is,
talisman.
but this reminds me of the Dragon Medallion. The Dragon Medallion in the original Mortal Kombat lore was actually a medallion that had immense power, and it actually ended up in the possession of Sub-Zero, where it made him tremendously more powerful. There was also a female Ice Ninja that held it at one point, and she couldn't control it. It ended up freezing herself solid. Powerful medallions end up doing bad things. And it would appear that this one
The center jewel.
is imprisoning Shinnok. Shinnok is a fallen elder god. If you played the Mortal Kombat 9, those dragons at the end, those are the elder gods. And he is someone who's basically banned from being an elder god. No idea who he is, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually.
And those caught in the middle pay the price.
If this talisman is what I suspect it to be, we may all pay a price.
See, just look at
Kino talked.
the production value on this. This looks fantastic, and this is all in engine too. The fighting game looks like this. And that's just absolutely fantastic. NetherRealm has completely outdone themselves on this one here.
Location.
And a whole rebel army.
She has the amulet, but she's got a lot of protection.
And Melina,
Took my
the fallen Outworld princess. Good to see her back in here.
throne. Now you wish to
And
steal
she
my
looks
means of
gloriously
reclaiming
pissed.
it.
Okay, guys, standard diamond formation. Takeda, you're on point. Jackie, bring up the rear.
What makes you our leader?
There you go, got some Ermac. That looks like some more Shinnok magic. And here we go, and shoot, I actually forget the name of this ninja clan. But this is the ninja clan that Scorpion hails from. And it would appear that Scorpion is now being considered a mantle for this clan as well. A female yellow ninja, I'm interested in what that is. Sindel. Yeah, Sindel is actually Katana's mother. Kind of undead. And this is just awesome. This is just amazing.
Earthrealm's fate lies with you.
Thank God, Goro looks so incredible. Goro just looks so amazing in this game. So there we go. We got that. A good shot of Katana just murdering Kano here. That looks so good. Now, on top of that, just yesterday, we actually got to see some. We actually got to see some of the brutalities mechanic in Mortal Kombat, and I'll get a video of that pulled up here later. There you go. Look over my kingdom. It's very dark. That's probably bad. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to go upstairs. Because knowing my luck, I'm going to be talking about something, and a creeper is going to go off in my place, and it's going to suck. So, why can't I place a torch? Why can't I place a torch? Oh, it's because of... Yeah, I know. That's irritating. This is gonna bug me. I gotta fix this. This entire floor is made of half slabs, and you can't put things on top of half slabs. Ugh. Ah, man. Ugh. Hold on. There. Table. I am a carpenter. There we go. At any rate, though, we also got to see some brutalities for the game as well. And brutalities are interesting. Brutalities were introduced in Mortal Kombat 3, I believe. And in Mortal Kombat 3, how it worked is that when you killed someone, I believe how they worked is you could actually run a combo on them. And if you could run this combo all the way up and you got yourself all the way there through a particular sequence, you would literally just beat the daylights out of them, and it would go faster and faster and faster until they exploded. And it was extremely hard to do. But it looked so amazing, and it was like the best way to basically just put it in someone's face. There we go. Put this up here. I think I don't want your Versace. These are so amazing looking. Just like, oh my god. Just the sawing motion on that is great. And into face. Gotta love Kung Lao. And that one might be my favorite. Punching you in the dick so hard that your head explodes.
Whitey? Stop.
Brutality.
You are a fool. Oh. So you can imagine, like, if you get in that at the end. I'm gonna need that. I like to push you across.
This one's really good. He falls, it...
Oh, come my child. Come back to mommy, my children. This is like another one where some of the requirements may be just a button.
So this looks a little different. It looks like the primary mechanic behind these is they are special versions of specific moves where if you kill the person with that move under certain conditions, you actually get this. You actually get the brutality instead of just knocking them out. They didn't show it there, but the head will actually drop down.
Wave goodbye.
Yeah, but they have also stated that you can combo into these, so if you get like a really good combo rolling and you just smack someone around, do the uppercut, and actually have like a full combo that leads into it, and it looks so good. Thank you to Perfect Legend for having that uploaded, because it just made it so much easier to show it. So yeah, so we had that going. Or we got that. And the more I see on Mortal Kombat X, the more excited I get about it. And we got a caller. We got ourselves a caller. Hold on a second now. And it's my buddy Adam. Good morning, Adam. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Dude, I told you I was doing a morning show. What the heck did you expect?
Yeah, I know. Well, it seems like a real good morning, Andrew. The sun is shining, it's cold as shit outside, and I'm about to load a bowl.
And that is now live on the internet for the entire world to hear.
Fine.
Congratulations.
That's fine.
So, Adam, have you seen the glory that is the new Mortal Kombat brutalities?
No.
Oh, they are so good, man.
I'm now going to Google it.
Hold on, I can actually send you a link here. I actually just spent like the first
a proper link.
I actually literally just spent like the first 10, 15 minutes of the show talking about these trailers, and we got a storyline trailer too. Or we got a storyline trailer for Mortal Kombat X2. There we go, send that over to you.
Oh, shit. Combat Cast 4, okay.
Now hold on a second. You're in
Whoa.
Texas. You're in Texas. What do you mean it's cold?
It's cold for Texas.
Yeah, how cold is it in Texas?
39 degrees with high winds.
Is this guy complaining about 40-degree weather?
How about you shut up, man? Because I haven't been up north.
Okay. You want to know what the temperature
cold
is?
When I went to Canada,
You know what the temperature is right now where I am? 5.
Tens.
5.
It is a single digit.
And that is not the coldest it has been. Today is actually a warm day this week.
Okay. Ermac just took the trophy for best brutality.
Oh, God. There's a better one. Keep watching.
What in the fuck is... Okay.
It gets better. It gets so much better.
Oh, boy. Kung Lao just fucking punching and punching and punching. That's not fair, though, that they gave what's basically the Shoto of Mortal Kombat one of the best moves.
Well, brutalities are kind of like ultra combos in Killer Instinct.
Wait, Quan Chi. Oh, a fountain of blood for Quan Chi. I am pleased.
Yeah, that one's pretty great. That one is pretty great.
So what were you saying these things are like?
They're kind of like ultra combos, it looks like, in Killer Instinct. You have to meet certain conditions during the fight in order to do them. And they are only for finishing a fight.
Right.
On the other hand, yeah, that grab is just amazing looking. Did you see Cassie Cage's brutality yet?
Yes.
The nut punch where the person's head explodes.
You mean Ed Boon's Makoto tribute?
Just like, oh god. Cassie, your dad would be so proud right now.
So proud. So proud.
I gotta say, I think the final one in that might be my favorite. Although Quan Chi's is a very close second, and Kung Lao. Kung Lao's Turbo Punch.
Yeah,
Kung Lao's
he should've
Turbo
gotten
Punchathon
even more
Massacre.
ridiculous, though.
That's what I'm calling that. Kung Lao's Turbo Punchathon Massacre.
Happy Super Punch fun time.
It's like, how do you know you've gone far enough? If we have begun
When their head
describing the
doesn't
move
exist
like a
anymore.
Tim and Eric bit, then you have gone far enough.
Yeah, you're kind of around that one.
Say what?
I said, yeah, you're kind of right on that one. God, Tim and Eric is so fucking bizarre. Hey, Andrew.
What's up?
It's not Jackie Chan.
It's not Jackie Chan?
Okay, you're gonna make a Tim and Eric reference and you don't know what that is?
No. Most of my exposure to Tim and Eric was the Tim and Eric radio channel in Saints Row 3.
Okay, so...
And
I'm gonna
I am
show
not
you it's
ashamed
not
of that.
Jackie Chan. I'm gonna show you it's not Jackie Chan.
Oh, God. Am I gonna regret this? I get this feeling that I'm gonna regret this.
No, it's really like it's probably one of their best sketches.
No, I will take a look at that after the show. But we are going to keep moving with the news. We're going to keep moving with the news of the week. Apparently, League of Legends. League of Legends fans are...
jungle.
Yes, they changed the jungle, and apparently people are pissed.
Furious.
I just like playing Vi and punching things in the face because she has giant robot fists. So I didn't entirely understand this, but from what I understand from professional players, the jungle is now nearly impossible to play unless you're playing characters that are specifically designed to just destroy the jungle. Like, unless this character was built to kill minions.
All of the blistering nerd rage in the next coming weeks.
And I mean, this is actually kind of par for the course, though. This is actually kind of par for the course, though. The big reason why they changed it, as I understand, is they wanted to promote diversity of gameplay. Unfortunately, what they have done, there's actually a really good video from Foxdrop, I believe the guy's name is on YouTube, Foxdrop. Really good channel if you're looking to learn how to play a particular character, too. But the basic idea of what's wrong is that the changes that they've made, which are... It's now more expensive to change items, so changing your smite from, you know, like a minion smite to a champion smite is now more expensive and therefore harder, and now almost not worth it. In addition to some of the other changes that they have made over time, have actually actively made it to where, unless you have players helping the jungle early in the game, it's almost not viable to play anyone but like 5 or 6 different characters.
Oh, on that map?
Pretty much at all, period. I mean, almost all League of Legends is played from the Summoner's Rift, like the classic 3-lane one that everyone talks about. Pretty much all of League of Legends is actually on there.
Wow.
And yeah, because of the changes to jungling, like I think Vi, Yasuo, something person, I don't know. Like I just play Vi. And punch things in the face because she has giant robot fists. And that makes me happy.
Yeah, it wins.
That makes me happy. That brings joy into my life, and it's all I really want. Get back here, duck. Murdered. Yes. Just murdered a duck with an axe. So I didn't entirely understand a lot of the problems that they were talking about until I actually watched that video. But yeah, a lot of pros are actually calling for Riot to change the jungle at minimum back to what it was. Oh, hey, I found a mycelium area in my world. I didn't even know this was over here. It is actually relatively close to my home. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So we have that come in. There were a number of nerfs and whatnot that happened as well. But that was the big problem. That seems to be the big problem that everyone's talking about.
People could handle the nerfs, they just couldn't handle the stages changing.
Well, it wasn't even the stage that changed. The stage is actually exactly the same. They didn't change the layout of that level. It's that item change, because I think the specific thing is that it used to be 0 gold to upgrade your jungle item. Like, you just had to have the prerequisite items, and then, oh, okay, you can just get that item now. And now it costs 255 gold, which is a lot. That's like 10 minion kills.
Minion, sorry.
Yeah, it's actually like 10 minion kills, so that's kind of problematic. I'm just finding, like, these gigantic trees that look like mushrooms. It's weird.
I feel like with stuff like that, once the game is being played on a professional level, there are just some things that like are out of your hands. You know, like
Yeah,
changing. It's one thing to balance a game, but like with that kind of game to change the level with people that play it, you know, like every day. That's I can see why people are mad. Like people make money off of that game.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, they're not even changing the level. They actually are changing basically the meta of how jungling works and how a jungle character is developing over the course of a match.
Are they trying to balance the game, or were they patching something?
It's actually part of this larger thing that Riot is doing, where Riot is trying to make the jungle more diverse.
Okay.
Because Riot is actually, it's actually been a well-known thing. Riot has actually not been satisfied with how jungling works. They haven't liked it since like season 3, and we're on season 5 now.
Oh, of tournaments?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And yeah, it's just kind of been problematic for them. So I don't know. All I can say is, you know, you can't. I don't think they even necessarily know what the fix is. I think that might be part of the problem. Oh, we lost Adam here. But I'll keep on my point. Part of the problem is I don't think that Riot really knows how to fix jungling. Like, they don't have, like, a clear set, oh, well, we have to do this, and then jungling will be fixed. So they're just trying things and seeing what works. They're basically experimenting with the meta, which is all good and well, but they're experimenting with the meta of the game. Holy God. Sheep! Sheep! I tried to help the sheep. Whatever. God, it is getting really dark. And I have no idea where I am. That's a problem. I think I came from that way, right? Yeah, I think I came from that way. We'll head back. Yeah, run over this way. Run over this way. And hear all kinds of monsters and problematic things. So yeah, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Riot has once again changed the jungle, and pretty much everyone agrees that they have changed the jungle for the worse. So at the very least, I think there's a simple way that they could have avoided this problem, and really all they would have had to do is do the experimentation off-season. Because, you know, after the Worlds, after the World Championships and whatnot, that's when you should be experimenting with it in order to lock it in for the next tournament season. Because again, people make a living off of this. You can't just change a whole ton of stuff and not expect people to flip out when this stuff changes. Oh God, I'm being shot at. Hey, jerk face. Oh, jeez. Ah, crap. Run away. I am so lost right now. Yeah. Run away. But yeah, I think ultimately that's the solution here. Riot needs to actually implement an off-season to experiment with game mechanics. That way they aren't completely changing how the game works. You know, in the middle of a in the middle of a season. And it's not to say that that this season hasn't had problems either. I mean, this season has actually had a number of issues, specifically with teams. I mean, there was one team that actually had someone who was being threatened by their manager. Like, the manager of that team was literally threatening this player by telling him that he was going to do everything in his power to make his mother homeless. I mean, and first off, who the hell says that? Who the hell threatens to make someone's mother homeless? What is your malfunction? And that even sounds like a remotely acceptable course of action. Whatever. God, I gotta get back to my house before I go over to the next news topic. Ah, God, spiders. Why are there all these spiders near my house? Give it. I think we're near my house. I think we're near my house. And this is definitely areas that I've explored because I put up torches. Seriously, I am so damn lost right now. I am so lost, and there are creepers. I don't know where my nice house is. Like, the only way I can get back there definitively is to kill myself, and that's a problem. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It might be here. It might be here. There we go. We've reached the compound. We've made it back. Hooray! Civilization. Still gonna have to fight these dang spiders, but whatever. There. Fantastic. I have reached safety once again. I digress. Okay. We are once again in the safe confines of a house. Where'd my sword go? Did I lose my sword? Yeah, I totally just lost my sword. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I took an arrow to the back of the head. Ah. Anywho. No, go away! God, did stupid spiders try to do a radio show? God! There. Damn spiders. Leave me alone. Anywho. What else do we got on point this week? Aha. Now, in what has become a continuing stream of news about Nintendo Amiibos. I guess first off, a couple weeks ago, now maybe last week, I believe. Yeah, last week, it was revealed that Walmart was getting an exclusive Amiibo. Specifically, they were getting a gold-colored Super Mario from the new Super Mario line. And that's okay, whatever. But of course, these are amiibos, so people are immediately losing their minds. Where did you come from? How are you here? Ah, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my good sword. But yeah, Walmart got a new gold amiibo. Now, thanks to a recent investor report, we now know that part of the reason why everything is going absolutely batty with amiibos right now is because of a port dispute that's currently going on the West Coast. So Nintendo is actually having a hard time getting amiibos on land. Or at least that's what they're saying. I'm kind of calling BS because they could have been shipping these things by air and still making a profit with how much, demand there is for them. But predictably, since a new amiibo has come out, people have bought it, and it is sold out in minutes, apparently. It sold out in minutes, and now it is once again going for absolutely crazy prices online. And there seems to be like two different camps of thought as far as what Nintendo is doing here, because one camp of thought is that Nintendo is completely squandering an opportunity to just get a ton of these to the States and make trucks of money. And the second camp is that Nintendo is actually genius in how they're handling this. Because what they've done is they have created so much buzz, over this whole thing, over this whole amiibo thing, that by just doling them out one or two at a time, people will always be going crazy for them. They're like managing the hype machine. I'm not entirely sure which one I believe, because I kind of don't buy the idea that Nintendo understands the internet quite that well, because they have repeatedly proven that Nintendo does not understand the internet nearly that well. And quite frankly, I would love to see the amiibos become more common, if only so that people could get them if they want them, without having to go through a scalper on eBay for 4 times their price. And they are so hard to come by too. Exactly. Amber Xenon in the chat here is like, she wants her Fire Emblem amiibos, and they might as be made out of world peace at this point. That is how hard they are to find. Like, I think I've seen, like, in person, 2 Fire Emblem amiibos. Like, 2. Full disclosure, I work at a video game store, and I have seen maybe 2 Fire Emblem amiibos. It's madness, and I'm not necessarily going to say that it needs to stop, but I don't know. The situation that Nintendo has created is going to keep them in business forever. But people are getting ripped off in the process by people who are not so nice, and that's rather distressing. My flower garden. I like my flowers. Anywho. I mean, quite frankly, I am perfectly happy with the amiibos that I have, and as amiibos come out, I snag them. I don't necessarily even want to play with them. I don't think I've played with them in quite a while, mostly because I haven't played Smash in quite a while. But, I just got my Mega Man amiibo, and I got Little Mac. I actually have a Little Mac. Samus, Fox, and Link, so... And you know what, Amber Xenon in the chat again brings up a good point. With as expensive as these figures are, you could get like like a top shelf collectible from something like Figma or Nindroid or all of these other figure houses that make amazing figures. And sure, you wouldn't have the amiibo functionality, but they would still look fantastic. And not everyone really wants the amiibo functionality or even cares about the amiibo functionality. Sometimes it's just about, oh, hey, that's kind of cool looking. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on Andrew RSS on Twitter, and then let me know what you think. Would you like to see, more amiibos? And if you would like to see more amiibos, how much would you be willing to spend in order for amiibos to be more common? Like, if they were made more expensive, but we got a better supply, would that be an okay solution? All right, if they were made more expensive, so that the cost of air shipping them into the States in order to get around that whole port dispute thing, if they were made more expensive and they were made more readily available as a result, how high would you be willing for that price to go? Let me know on Twitter. And yeah, moving on. What do we got next on, Pulse? That's what I use to track all my news here is Pulse. Final Fantasy 14. I happen to be a big fan of Final Fantasy 14. So this is a really cool story to see. Final Fantasy 14. Polygon is reporting that Final Fantasy 14 has hit 4 million registered users and is offering free logins for returning players right now. Ever since, Final Fantasy 14 is kind of weird because when Final Fantasy 14 was first released, it was just a train wreck. It was an absolute train wreck to the point where they brought in an entirely different team to fix it, and that team entirely destroyed the game. Like, literally, it was an in-game event. They destroyed the world. And then in the process of that, completely rebuilt it with Realm Reborn. And ever since Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV has been doing fantastically. And that's good to see, in my opinion. It's always good to see stuff being done well, Yeah, 4 million registered users. And let me check something here. The last number that we saw for World of Warcraft, or at least the latest number that I've been able to find, this was as of October 14th. So this is a fairly recent number, actually. World of Warcraft is up to 7.4 million subscribers. So in the course of 1 year, Final Fantasy 14 has registered 4 million users. So that's really good. Final Fantasy 14 is clearly a tremendous success. Xenon here is saying 10 million. That Warcraft is up to 10 million, and I think that might have to do with the Draenor expansion. I believe they actually saw a boom with the Draenor expansion. Yeah. And so for to even be swinging at half that weight class, Square has done really well for themselves. And they've actually just added some content to the game, too. They just added the Golden Saucer, which is like a whole amusement park area, where you can train chocobos and race them, and a bunch of games that you can play. Some of which I think they actually brought back from the older games, from like Final Fantasy VII, stuff like that. So that's kind of fun to see. And they're about to release their first paid expansion as well, called Heavensward, which adds flying mounts and whole new regions and a bunch of new primals and storyline. So that's really good. Always good to see games being successful. If we can only do something about the gold sellers that are in Final Fantasy XIV, because they are just, I don't even know. I mean, it is so overwrought with gold sellers in the game that it's insanity. It is absolute insanity. Like, you can play for an hour, and I could probably get bugged by like 10 gold sellers. And you blacklist them, but there's no method of reporting. So like IP banning, attempting to do IP bans, just entirely out of the question. And I don't know if Square is taking any steps to try and stop gold sellers, or if they're even caring. I mean, I get bugged so much by gold sellers, I don't know if Warcraft even cares about it. I do know that my blacklist is massive, and it's entirely gold sellers. I haven't actually been harassed at all within Final Fantasy. My entire blacklist is just from banning gold sellers, because I don't want to deal with them annoying me. Anywho, next up on the dock, I mean, again, always great to see a game doing well. And that new expansion, hopefully that's going to be fun too. A new study has come out that is giving us an idea of what people are looking for when they are looking at particular consoles. And this is kind of interesting. The research was done by Nielsen. Nielsen, monitors retail sales for a number of industries. But Nielsen polls have been commonly used for knowing how many copies of video game sells at retail. But looking at this here, based on their latest research for owners of consoles, 13 years and older, for the PlayStation 4, people are looking for better graphics and resolutions. On the Xbox One, they're buying it for the brand. People are buying the Xbox One because it's an Xbox. And people are buying the Nintendo Wii U for the fun factor. Now, how about that? People are just Xbox. According to this research, people are buying an Xbox because it's an Xbox. There's something to be admired there when you think about it. That Microsoft has built such a community and such a following around their Xbox brand that people are buying Xboxes because they are Xboxes. And that's how Apple does business. So, might be a little bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. I don't like it when people buy things just because of a particular brand. I would much prefer people to make their purchasing decisions based on, features and worth and stuff like that. That way, good products continue to thrive and poor products. Not that I'm saying that any of these are poor products. Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Wii U, PC, all fantastic machines to play games on. The idea that there is a bad console out right now is entirely not true. But I do find that rather interesting. Other features that people are looking for, other reasons why people look at particular consoles. For the Wii U, it's better for kids. It's backwards compatible. Not very surprised. Exclusive games and content. Nintendo is pretty much the only company that is really able to tout its exclusive games because their in-house studios are well-funded and make fantastic games. With regularity. I mean, for a long time, that's been what the Wii U has been. The Wii U has been the Nintendo tax so that you could play the new Nintendo games. And that would suck if not for the fact that those Nintendo games are all fantastic. So, there we go there for Microsoft. Innovative features. I'm not sure what that means specifically. I'm assuming that means, the HDMI pass-through and the Kinect. And probably the DVR stuff too. Probably the game sharing stuff. And the PlayStation 4, Blu-ray player, game library, faster processing power, which was also a reason for the Xbox One, and what the family wants. And that I find is an interesting statement. People are buying the PlayStation 4 because it's what the rest of the family wants. No one answered that they bought a PS4 because it wasn't an Xbox. I mean, when the consoles did come out, that was actually quite the prevalent thing. People were actually buying PlayStations because they were not Xboxes. Honestly, I think that's cooled significantly. That mindset has cooled significantly. It's still out there, though. It's still, to a degree, out there, though. Yeah, interesting stuff. What else we have here? Lifetime console ownership. The question, and which of the following video game consoles have you ever owned? 91% of PlayStation 4 owners owned a 7th generation console at all. 66% owned a PS3, 59% owned an Xbox, which is a rather high number when you think about it. That's a rather high number. 59% of PlayStation 4 owners polled owned a Xbox 360, and 72% owned a Wii. That is a very high number of people, a very high percentage of people buying a competing console. Xbox, 43% had a PS3, 76% had an Xbox. Again, there's that brand recognition thing. Wii U owners, 86% owned a Wii and then bought a Wii U. Nintendo faithful kind of stuff. So yeah, interesting stuff. And then lastly, and this is going to be our final news article for today. The FCC. Oh, well, actually, no, I'm going to save that here for a moment. We're going to talk about something more fun before I do that. So let me jump over here. There we go. So Reddit had a brilliant idea, and seriously, whoever had this idea on Reddit, you deserve a medal. But the idea was to take Civilization 5, put 42 artificial intelligence players into the same map, fill that map with a massive, an absolutely ridiculously huge, full world map, and then just let them go at it themselves and see what happens. And this is fascinating to look at. Let's see. Is there a current GIF of the world? And there's tons of modded civilizations in here. The Sioux, the Inuit, the Buccaneers, Mexico, America, Canada, tons And there's a whole group of mods that they're actually doing in order to do this. And yeah, it's actually fascinating to watch. Yeah, just watch it duke out amongst themselves. Oh, and we actually have an update. So they have actually gone through and they have actually kept this relatively well updated. But I'll actually advance this all the way forward because there's a guy who's making GIFs that actually show the world development. Yeah, let's get that on stream here. And just watch this. Just watch how this develops. Shrink that up so that we can actually see it. There we go. There. So you see, like, everyone kind of ended up being distributed over the world. And then they developed and evolved. So from there, I'm pretty sure they're still on Spearman. I don't think anyone has actually reached any advanced level of technology yet. But I love watching stuff like this. Because you see interesting stuff like you got these guys down here who basically are just not expanding at all. Like they're happy with their little islands. Australia is gradually being populated along the coastlines. Meanwhile, Europe has just been an absolute bloodbath. And there has been so much infighting through here, and it's craziness. And why is it? Oh, it's raining. Go inside. There we go. Get back to this here. And we'll just let it keep raining. It actually it's rather peaceful. It's rather peaceful, you know? Just sit back, take yourself a deep breath. This is your moment of Zen. Let's listen to the calming, soothing sounds of the rain. Let your troubles drift away. Staying calm, staying relaxed. Anywho. So this is actually really cool. If you are interested in checking out the Battle Royale, you can find it on Reddit. I believe it is on, it is on the Civilization board on Reddit. Or you can just search for Civilization Battle Royale on Google. I'm sure you can find it. If you're watching Twitch, you can probably manage to Google this and find it on the internet. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's really cool to see. And I'm really looking forward to see who ends up on top and who starts a nuclear war first. Because it's going to turn ugly. And I mean ugly at some point. All right, then moving on to our last topic for the day. Oh, I actually don't have a link for it up on here. Hold on a second. That was a mistake. Oh, we might have something to say. Oops. All right, well, before we do the FCC thing, there's a quick little jab at Sony. Apparently, late last year in Japan, Sony held a contest. People about a PlayStation 3, a PlayStation 4, a Vita, or a Vita TV between December 4th and January 15th could get a calendar with a special code that gave them a chance to snag one of those really cool-looking PlayStation 1-styled PS4s, right? Apparently, some idiot deleted it. So Sony now has no idea who's actually won that contest. How do you screw that up? How do you screw that up? I honestly am asking, how do you mess that up? Because this isn't like a small thing. You'd figured there'd be like another copy somewhere. They didn't keep a backup. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, Kotaku's just now reporting on that. So, yeah, I don't even know. But on to our actual final discussion, our final topic for today, and I just need to find the dang link for it. Final Fantasy's going to Gamescom. Kim Kardashian's putting her sisters in her crappy video game. Capcom's being Capcom. There's a glitch in a Legend of Zelda game. That's not news. Google. Here we go. I just got an article from The Escapist. They've kind of been annoying me lately, but what are you going to do? But here we go. The FCC has officially voted for Title II legislated net neutrality. Yeah, this vote actually happened yesterday, and it is officially a thing. Broadband internet in the United States will now officially be regulated under Title II legislation passed in 1930, which officially classifies broadband internet access, and I believe internet access in general, as a utility. And that even includes mobile internet as well. So there's a couple of things that are really important to remember with that. What that means is that it is now going to be illegal to throttle, traffic shape, charge content providers for fast lanes, and in the process, extort them by slowing down their access until they're non-functional. So yeah, now there was some controversy with this because apparently there was a gag order that was placed on the documents that pertain to this, and there have been some people, and honestly, I think that it's a rightly made criticism. Something like this should have been made publicly available so that everyone could see it. However, it is being spun as like it was like this secret vote. Like, you're going to vote on this and you don't know what you're voting on, and you won't know what you're voting on until you vote on it and pass it. So you should pass it so you know what you're going to vote on. And that's not what actually happened. We've actually known that this vote was going to happen under these terms for about 2-3 weeks now. And like I said, Title II was originally instated back in 1930. This isn't new. You have literally had, what, 80 years? 80, almost 90 years? 85. We'll say 85. We'll cut the difference. We'll say 85 years to know what Title II is. And for most of the people who are going to see this, it has actually been the law of the land for telephone communications for their entire lives. Now, net neutrality advocates, free speech advocates are actually kind of hesitant with it, because while this is a big victory, it is not an endgame victory. It is a victory en route. So there is going to be, now obviously Verizon, Comcast, all of the major providers who have a stake in maintaining their 97% profit margin internet access monopolies. They do have a stake in challenging this. I know that Verizon has actually bowed out of, they're starting to bow out of wired internet access because they don't want to deal with it, which is stupid. I mean, basically all they have to do is exactly what they've been doing now, but not throttle people's internet access and actually build the networks that they have been contractually obligated to build. And maybe that's it. Maybe they just don't want to spend the money to build the network infrastructure that they were supposed to be building with government grants and just decided not to. It's a thing. Whatever. But yes, this was like a 332-page document. And all in all, this is pretty much a win. But again, it is a win in route, so there's going to be challenges to this legally. And people on both sides are going to be looking over this document carefully to ensure that the provisions that are actually within that document are to, the best interests of themselves. So in the case of net neutrality advocates, best interests of net neutrality. In the case of Comcast, in the best interest of them owning several thousand more solid gold yachts. But yes, all in all, this is good news. So really glad to have seen this go through. It's on my little monitor across the room, so I can barely read it here. The key change is the regulation of broadband access going forward. Up until now, it has been classified as an information service. An information service, which means it was being regulated in a similar fashion to like a premium cable channel. In other words, not at all, really. And now, under this, it is now going to be regulated in the same fashion that phone communications are, with the exception that the FCC is not going to be exercising pricing regulations. The FCC is not going to be building this up or using this legislation to implement like price caps and stuff like that. And that was actually one of the big things that the telecoms people were worried about, that the FCC was going to come in and tell them that they had to sell their internet for such and such a price. And it turns out that that's not going to be happening. Which I'm kind of on the fence both ways about it. On one hand, I think that the FCC should be more concerned with ensuring that people aren't being exploited by ISPs. And by which I mean throttling, traffic shaping, fast laning, stuff like that. But on the other hand, I'm not entirely sure that enforcing like a price cap on anything would be doing anyone a service. On the flip side, though, Time Warner Cable recently, at an investor meeting, was talking about their earnings. And they told their investors, and in turn, the entire rest of the internet figured it out. Apparently, internet access, Time Warner's internet access business operates at a 97% profit margin. They literally spend 3 cents on the dollar to run their internet businesses and pocket the rest. And that is ridiculous. And even popcorn. I mean, popcorn is generally considered like a really easy concession to make money on because it costs almost nothing compared to how much of it you can sell per dollar or whatnot. Popcorn has a very high profit margin. And that's higher than popcorn. And that's actually why popcorn is used in movie theaters. It has nothing to do with the fact that popcorn matches movies. It has to do with the fact that that it is that cheap to actually do. And Time Warner Cable is big, but I don't think they're the biggest internet provider in the US. I believe that's actually Comcast. So if Time Warner Cable is operating at a 97% profit margin, you can sure as hell bet that the rest of the major players are also operating at such a high margin. One of the last things that was actually implemented with this, and if you're watching it on the stream, you might be able to read this. It might be at too low of a resolution, though. But one of the other things that's coming through with this is that the FCC has also voted on a measure for municipal broadband. And basically what this is, in certain parts of the country, you actually have municipalities and cities and towns and townships and stuff like that actually own and operate their own broadband networks. And other towns have seen this and they're like, okay, well, our internet access sucks and it's too expensive, so let's start it ourselves. And what they're doing is for a long time, in specific places, actually, they've been running smack into these ancient contracts that were signed in by previous civil leaders, where they were contractually forbidden from building up their own internet access. So like a town would go and they'd be like, okay, we are in the process. We're going to be in the process of starting up our own ISP. And then all of a sudden, Comcast or Time Warner or Verizon or whatever would like kick in the door and just go, no, you signed a contract stating that you would never be allowed to do that. And then like that's preposterous, but they signed a contract. There's a contract. And what they've actually done, and this is specifically in a couple of regions, or in a couple of locations where this has been a big issue, and where the residents of those cities have been petitioning to have it overthrown. The municipal broadband measure is basically overturning all of those contracts in those areas. Now, if that stands, because there is going to be a lot of pushback on that. In fact, I think that there was already pushback this morning on it. If that stands, that will actually create a precedent for breaking these contracts so that anywhere in the U.S. can actually start to build their own ISPs. And that is fantastic news. I almost think that that's better news than the rest of it, that these old contracts are getting wiped out. And you know what? That it's it's absolutely fantastic. Google, of course, is going to be thrilled with this. Any internet-based company is going to be thrilled with this decision. That all internet access, all internet traffic is being transmitted free and equally, and if it is not, there are now going to be punishments and fines in place where it is discovered to happen. Now, like I said, there's going to be a lot of rolling on this, but at least for now, this is a victory in route. And with that, we're actually going to be closing up the stream today. Thank you to Adam, whose headset died earlier because he forgot to charge it. Thank you to him for joining in with us for a little bit. Thank you to the Escapist for the FCC link that we got here. Thank you to Maximilian Dude and Perfect Legend for their video uploads of the Mortal Kombat trailers. To be honest, you guys were just the ones that I happened to pick. And they're both solid guys. If you're into fighting games at all, you should be listening, or you should be following Perfect Legend. You should be following Maximilian Dude. And with that, we're going to close this out for the night, or close this out for this morning. It is now 11:27, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If you need something to do, I'm going to point you guys at who's online right now. Game